The final score: Aberystwyth Town 0, Wrexham 2. I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC, and this was, for me, a significant result and a significant performance as well. Our first points in the second phase, and massively in the context of the progress that the women's side of the club is making. It guarantees us third place in the top tier in our first season playing at that level. And that is a magnificent achievement. But it's something else as well because there's for me there's been something brewing the last 2 or 3 weeks, and although at the moment our record in the second phase is having lost three and won one, I feel there's been a step forwards. The box midfield that Steve Dale's been using is really starting to gel, and it looks like something which we can use against the better sides and something we can use to control games against the sides who are competing to try and get into the top four, like Aberystwyth, who are a well-established team in the top level, and we've just beat them for the third time and we'll aim for the fourth this season next Sunday. Anyway, just the one change from the side that was so unlucky not to win against Swansea. Never mind the fact they ended up losing it, and that was uh, Annie Small coming in for her first start ahead of Amber Lightfoot. Small, I said in the last Final Whistle podcast after her really interesting showing off the bench against Swansea, I'd like to see her starting a game to see what she can do. Well, we've seen what she can do, and it's good. She and Brooke Cairns, who had, for me, her best game in the Wrexham shirt by a distance. I'm not trying to criticise her previously, but she's really settling into this now. Were terrific as the two attacking points in the box midfield. They gave good support to Rosie Hughes, and when Hughes dropped off, they and dragged the centre back with her. They were making great runs to try and create that, use that space. And Aberystwyth struggled at times to contain our movement. We looked on top from the start, and we took the lead in the ninth minute. And it was a fine goal as well. Cara Jones had finished the game against Swansea brilliantly on the right hand side. She was back on the left this time, but she was a constant threat. And in the ninth minute, cuts inside and with the right foot plays the most glorious cross, as ripped into the edge of the 6 yard box. Brooke Cairns, as she did a few times in the game, playing on the right side of the box, but coming across the penalty area to attack the near post when the ball's on the left hand side, or to at least offer an overload on that side of the pitch. Great run by her, and she stretches and 6 yards out gets a toe to it to poke it home past the makeshift goalkeeper, because Amy Jenkins, the goalie, is not a goalkeeper. She's one of the Aberystwyth's best players in the centre of the pitch, but was forced to play in goal. If I'm honest, I don't think that the fact that that happened made any impact on the scoreline. In fact, the one criticism I'd make of this really impressive and comprehensive performance by Wrexham was we could have tested her more. We dominated, we were in control, we got the ball into good areas to create chances, and we did create a lot of good chances. But Jenkins wasn't really stretched that much, so maybe we could have just tested her a little bit more. But that's quibbling when a team is playing as well as this. Soon after that goal, we nearly got another. That weird thing that when an outfield player goes in goal, they just don't seem that confident at kicking, which you'd think would be the thing they could do well. Jenkins playing poor ball out from the back, and a defender, Morley Hughes in midfield rather, got a touch on it, a horrible touch, and bounced it straight back. It was something Rosie Hughes was interested in. She went charging towards it. Isaac, the centre back, also ran across, and she seemed to have things under control as she got between Hughes and the ball. But then she rather left it for Jenkins. There was a confusion between them, and Hughes nipped past Isaac. Jenkins hit it against Hughes. It could have gone anywhere. Luckily for Aberystwyth, it went wide of the target with the goal empty. Wrexham continued to be on top. Lily Jones was really driving things forward. She and Mary Gibbard in the deeper parts of the box were really controlling the middle of the pitch, with obviously Cairns and Small dropping off to help them as well. Lily Jones clearly, well, I mean, firstly, ought to be confident in her long range shooting because she's good at long range shooting. Secondly, after that goal on Sunday, clearly wanted to try and fill her boots. And thirdly, was determined to test out the makeshift keeper. And she was driving on and trying long ranges and Wrexham well on top. A Lily Jones corner swept into the box. Aberystwyth didn't deal with our set piece as well. They couldn't clear this one properly. It bounced around a little bit, and then in the left channel, Mary Gibbard tried a really neat speculative shot, tried to curve it in, and as in the snapshot with the keeper not given time to react, put it in the side netting. But it was a nice, innovative attempt to score a goal, and still Wrexham continuing to push on. When a ball again was played into the box by Lily Jones from a corner, it bobbled around, and eventually it dropped on the edge of the 6-yard box, and a neat attempt at a back heel by Small to try to score was cleared off the line. All Wrexham this, until halfway through the first half, Aberystwyth, out of nothing, carved out an opportunity, a free kick for Duggan, who stood it up into the box. Morgan came to claim it, then suddenly changed her mind and could have been left rather stranded. Scarfield gets there on the penalty spot, tries to lift it beyond Morgan, but Morgan makes a good parry. The ball drops in the goal mouth, and the big target striker picks it up 6 yards out. What was her name? I've forgotten her name. I'm going to have a quick look. Baker. Of course it was. Baker. And has 2 goals at goal from 6 yards out. But Mary Gibbard does brilliantly to stand tall and get blocks in and get the ball clear. Really good defending. But, that was the first time they threatened us. And by the next time they threatened us, we were 2 up. 37th minute, Cara Jones on the left. Lily Jones makes a great run ahead of her. She tries to feed Lily in. It gets blocked, but she comes in, typically Cara Jones, so tenacious, wins the ball back on the left flank, cuts in her right foot, and then from about 25 yards out, right on the left side of the pitch, she rips a superb goal over Jenkins. Magnificent strike. Jenkins, not being a specialist goalkeeper, has got nothing to do with it. Her positioning was correct, but it was just such a good hit right where she couldn't reach it. Brilliant goal by Cara Jones. Wrexham were comfortable, and it's a rare occasion of we're 2-0 up and it feels like we're just going to get this job done. I don't mean that as, again, disparaging. It's just, as a football fan, I'm always feeling edgy, but this felt settled, although there was one major moment 2 minutes before the break which could have changed everything. Aberystwyth, with Duggan again, a brilliant through ball, just pierces Wrexham's defence. Allen sprinting to try and catch up with flaky Matthias, but the pass has just cut her out completely. Matthias Stoke just had a little bit of trouble getting the ball out from between her feet as she ran dead down the middle. Morgan was decisive, came out quickly, forced her to shoot early from the edge of the box, and she put it about a yard wide of the right post. Lovely pass by Duggan. Massive opportunity. Matthias was lively throughout down the right flank, but couldn't take that opportunity. Now, at the second half, Liv Fuller didn't come back out. Quite frankly, fantastic that she came out at the start of the game. I mean, having had such a long time out through injury, last Sunday was the first time in 2 years that she's played a full 90 minutes. I thought she'd be rested, but she made a good first half, really good performance. Erin Lovett came on to replace her in the second half, with Karen Allen switching across to the middle of the back three and Lovett slotting in on the right. And Wrexham picked up where we left off. Great pass by Gibbard to Small on the edge of the area. Had a clear sight of goal 1-on-1, but a great tackle by Isaac, who was really quick at the back, came across and typically swept across to deny Small. Stopped Wrexham from having the opportunity. Then another chance for Small, pretty much in the same area in the D. Cairns whipping a great pass in from deep. Small this time, again with a clear sight of goal, just miscontrolled, and the chance was gone. And kind of the game was over then as well. When we played at Aberystwyth earlier this season, a 1-2-1, there was a really impressive controlled performance. We got the lead at half-time, and we just shut down the second half, and we did it again. We just kept control of the ball. Our possession stats were good. We probed, but most importantly, we didn't overcommit, and we didn't really give Aberystwyth a sniff of our goal again. Changes were made. 57th minute, Small comes off. TJ Dickens comes on. And really important to think that Dickens, who's coming back from injury, is getting good minutes on the pitch in preparation for the Welsh Cup final. 72nd minute, Lightfoot came on to replace Pritchard, with Cara Jones switching to the right-hand side and Lightfoot playing as a left wing-back. 10 minutes left. Wrexham had another opportunity, and how wonderful this would have been. Phoebe Davis on the halfway line, driving forwards. Tremendous run by her. Feeds it to the right to Cara Jones, who pops a great return ball to her. Davis sets herself on the edge of the box. It mishit her shot, unfortunately, and it went off target. What a shame, because Davis, well, if anyone deserves a goal, it's her. The performances she's consistently been putting in this season. Maybe the final change, and Ava Suckley came on for Mary Gibbard, and she would have a moment to remember. But first, one of the other subs did. 5 minutes left. Lightfoot on the halfway line this time, driving diagonally into the box. Superb run by her. She set herself, but she didn't quite get hold of the shot properly. A pretty comfortable save for Jenkins. Worryingly, she jarred her knee as well as she hit it and looked in some distress, but was able to recover and complete the game. And then the last minute, Suckley's moment, and it should have been Rosie Hughes' moment too. Great work by Suckley on the left as she took the ball back to goal, turned and played the most exquisite through ball, absolute perfection for Rosie Hughes, who ran off the shoulder of the last defender. The keeper came out and she flicked it over her to score, but the flag went up for offside. And looking at the replays, she was comfortably onside, to be honest. So really unfortunate that. But it didn't matter. Wrexham had again gone to one of the traditional strong sides in women's Welsh football and controlled the game from start to finish. An excellent performance. And at last, a performance which got the results that it deserved. Well, looking through the individual performances, I mean, Morgan again didn't have much to do. It was an important save from Scourfield, although maybe she should have come and claimed it. But nonetheless, doesn't matter. She reacted extremely well and was off a line quickly for the Matthias opportunity. Across the back, I mean, Fuller's such a class player again. The way she reads the game, the way she passes the ball out from the back, and she just keeps getting better and better as her fitness and sharpness improves. What a fine player she is. Allen, I thought, was outstanding. I'm a big fan of Karen Allen anyway, but she really was rock solid at the back. Carried the ball forwards with intent, of course. It was interesting because Baker, the player whose name I couldn't remember before, big target striker. Once Aberystwyth tried to use her strength as much as perhaps they could have done, but when they did, and they did quite a bit early on, she pulled across onto Allen's side of the back three, and Allen physically dominated her, even though Baker was much bigger than her. It was a really impressive captain's performance. And then on the other side, Phoebe Davis again, excellent with her interceptions and her use of the ball in that. You can't call it inverted. She's a centre back, or inverted centre back, if you will, on the left hand side, but coming in onto her right foot and feeding accurate passes into midfield to link up play. Now, a really accomplished performance again from her. The wing backs, Cara Jones has to be player of the match. Got a goal, got an assist, constant threat as well going forwards. Had no real issues defensively either. Very, very impressive. And then on the right hand side, well, Pritchard again solid, no problems defensively. Was given a bit of a break halfway through the second half. The Mox midfield worked beautifully. Lily Jones was effervescent everywhere. That all-round midfielder that we know she is, destroying, creating, fantastic stuff. Gibbard alongside her again. Sometimes, you watch her and you think, yeah, she's that player who makes all those important covering runs, makes a lot of things people don't see, but she's so important in the balance of the team. When I was a kid, people just say that about Mel Sutton, real club legend Sutton. But she's the same. She's just non-stop. She covers the ground. She makes the runs. Her passing was good as well, really good. Very impressive from her. That through ball she played to Small was a beauty. And then the front two of the box, wow. I mean, Small drifting in from the left-hand side, a nice technical player, and looks to play those killer passes, and she's got such promise. And on the right-hand side, Cairns got her first goal. She's just growing into the team as every week goes past, but she is important in the press as well. She gave an excellent all-round performance. I felt so sorry for Rosie Hughes because she played well. She maybe sacrificed herself a bit to drop off and allow Cairns and Small to be attacking the spaces sometimes. She deserved a goal. The chances just weren't falling for her. And then when she does get a chance, she sticks it in the net and it's wrongly ruled out for offside. So really unfortunate that, but a good shift that she put in. Lovett, of course, played half a match too, and she was excellent. Really prominent, battling away, winning the ball back on the flank. Um, she managed to keep Flaky Matthias pretty quiet in the second half, which is no mean feat. And yeah, was direct, aggressive, made one great run to the goal line, pulled in a decent cross for players to attack. And the other subs as well, like for that promising charge, Suckley played that glorious pass in, which did set up a goal. And TJ Dickens, again, like I said, coming back from injury, looked pleasingly authoritative in the middle of the pitch. That was great stuff. Really enjoyable. Really impressive. And now we go on to play Aberystwyth again. And I need to say, I mean, the reason I'm so impressed with all this is because Aberystwyth are good. They are good. They got some really nice players. Isaac at the back's had a brilliant duel of Rosie Hughes throughout the season. She's a quality player. I think Scourfield's quite good. She started off at centre back, and I wasn't so sure, but then he made substitution at half time, and she stepped up at defensive midfield. What I've seen her before, and again, she impressed me. Uh, Further up the pitch, Neve Duggan is a really lively, creative player who's played some nice passes. Matthias and Thomas on the flanks had real pace. They're a good team of good players, but we controlled them. And that's why I'm so pleased with this. We really are creating a foundation here that we can build from. It's an excellent finish to the season, even though those are our first points in phase two. With a final score of Aberystwyth Town 0, Wrexham 2. I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.